was born in Woodmere, Long Island, New York on May 22, 1930. In his early years after graduating from New York State College for Teachers in 1951, Milk enlisted in the U.S. Navy during the Korean War. However, he was discharged soon after for having been openly gay. Milk then moved to San Francisco, California. He began as a business owner, opening up his own camera store. However, frustrated with San Francisco's gay leadership for being too conservative when lobbying for greater political rights for the gay community, Milk ventured into a new path. He sought to make a change politically. In 1977, Milk ran for a supervisor seat on San Francisco's board. He mobilized the gay vote into a powerful bloc, and later that year, won. His victory marks the first time in U.S. history an openly gay individual was elected into office. Harvey Milk's The Hope speech on June 25, 1978. In his speech, Milk emphasized that his win was not just a win for himself, but a win for the community he stood for, the LGBT community. Quoting, "A gay person in office can set a tone, can command respect not only from the larger community, but from the young people in our own community who need both examples and hope. The first gay person we elect must be strong. They must not be content to sit in the back of the bus. They must not be content to accept. They must be above wheeling and dealing. They must be, for the good of all of us, independent, unbought." The anger and the frustrations that some of us feel is because we are misunderstood, and friends can't feel that anger and frustration. They can sense it in us, but they can't feel it, because a friend has never gone through what is known as coming out. I will never forget what it was like coming out and having nobody to look up toward. I remember the lack of hope, and our friends can't fulfill it. I can't forget the looks on faces of people who have lost hope, be they gay, be they seniors, be they blacks looking for an almost impossible job, be they Latins trying to explain their problems and aspirations in a tongue that's foreign to them. I, personally, will never forget that people are more important than buildings." End quote. Harvey's speech amplified the voices of the oppressed. What started as a movement for the LGBT community extended far beyond it. However, just 1 year after taking office, Harvey Milk was tragically assassinated by San Francisco's former conservative supervisor Dan White. Known as the Twinkie defense, a derisive label for the trial, White was convicted of voluntary manslaughter, a lesser charge than first-degree murder. The psychiatrist that testified in court stated that White was in a diminished mental state at the time of the assassination because of his consumption of sugary foods, alluding to Twinkies. Only convicted of manslaughter, a form of homicide where the defendant unlawfully and unintentionally causes the death of another person because of recklessness or negligence, White only served 5 years. Despite his short-lived time in office, Milk's legacy stands strong. Milk helped pass the first gay rights ordinance in the U.S. in San Francisco. His policies sparked a legal LGBT rights revolution, which snowballed into legalizing same-sex marriage and increasing protections of the LGBT community. With his background as a businessman, Milk co-founded the Castro Village Association, a pro-gay business association. The Castro Village Association hosts the annual Castro Street Fair, held on the first Sunday of October in Castro Street, San Francisco. Castro Street is the main gay neighborhood in San Francisco and is the center of the city. The fair is an ongoing tradition still to this day. There is a dance alley, games and activities on Meet Midway, food and drink vendors, and live performances for music. In August 2009, President Barack Obama honored Harvey Milk with the nation's highest civilian medal, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. His legacy still lives on today.